Michelle, and welcome to a chilly Sunday afternoon in Boston. A Celtic playoff game in May, which certainly sounds familiar, and will be a sellout crowd at the TD Garden. Celtics and Cavaliers playing for the right to go to the NBA Finals. It's game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, LeBron James looking to go to his 8th straight finals. He is in the midst right now of one of the all-time great playoff runs in NBA history.
Along with that, 4 guys average 3+ assists. This is a complete basketball team.
They have some wonderfully talented young players, but they also have their veteran leader, Al Horford, who's been just superb so far in these playoffs. And this presentation of the Eastern Conference Finals continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ABC is presented by Exxon and Mobil. Exxon and Mobil, official motor fuel of the NBA. And in part by Toyota. Let's go places.
And we'll take a timeout.
See how often Coach talked about it, one-on-one defense. I thought it was poor, allowing him a direct line drive, able to use the rim as a shield, and an easy layup.
And that will end the first. The Celtics throw a haymaker here in the first quarter of game one. Brown and Horford, 24 their 36 points, and it's an 18-point lead. Tatum just jumped on top of Thompson as Cleveland able to call the timeout. Good hustle from both teams here. Just over 90 seconds gone by here in the second.
Right on cue. Jason Tatum, comfortable handling the basketball. ISO, elevate, knockdown jumper. How many is that? 3.
It's over 118 a game in the previous round. Halftime of game one, 61-35.
The NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ABC, presented by Exxon and Mobil. Brought to you by Mazda.
67-45, the lead has been as high as 28 for the Celtics here in game one. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating blimp-worthy athletes who show hard work, determination, and grit. Goodyear, more driven. Back here in Boston, we're a moment to celebrate, brought to you by Budweiser, celebrating Celtic defense.
Collectively and individually, you have to have game plan discipline, and it's on display for the Celtics.
And they don't have to double as much because they have both size and lateral quickness to match up against James. Not that you're going to stop him, but you can make him take shots that you would rather see him take.
And you can play the same defense and he can get 40, but he's getting 40 on your terms. This is winning basketball and outstanding defense by the Celtics.
In the third, the domination continues for Boston.
The NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ABC, presented by Exxon and Mobil. Brought to you by Solo, a Star Wars story. In theaters May 25th. Tickets available now. And Infinity, empower the drive.
We'll continue. Game two will be Tuesday on ESPN. Our coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern. Then at 7:30, the NBA Draft Lottery, followed by Game 2. And tip-off for Game 2 is going to be shortly after 8:30 Eastern Time. Tristan Thompson back in with 40. Cut in half. Cavaliers just 35 points in the first half. Had 29 here in the third. And off the bounce, we head to the fourth quarter. Celtics lead is 78-64. Happy Mother's Day, Jason Tatum.
Sitting there thinking mama said knock you out. Celtics putting on a clinic. Smart with the jump shot, and then Tatum using that grown man strength to get all the way to the cup. What a performance.
The The NBA Eastern Conference Finals on ABC is presented by Exxon and Mobil. Exxon and Mobil, official motor fuel of the NBA. In part by Roundup for Lawns, kills weeds, not the law. And Budweiser. This Bud's for the real MVPs. This Bud's for moms. Happy Mother's Day.
Celtics making a huge statement. Allow me to have this dance. Tatum knocks down the long ball. Happy Mother's Day. Celebrating. That's my boy. Then Rozier, one-on-one, the beautiful left hand laying over the contested hand of the Cavs, acknowledging the fan. I like that.
The scary Terry Merchant eliminated 4 times in the playoffs by LeBron James teams, trying to turn the tables. Just one game, but game 2 coming up right back here in Boston. Again, coverage begins NBA Countdown at 7 on ESPN. Draft lottery at 7:30 and tip-off shortly after 8:30 as the Eastern Conference Finals will continue. So Boston with a convincing 108-83 dominant victory over the Cavs. For producer Tip Corrigan, director Jimmy Miller, of course for Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, and Doris Burke, and our entire ABC crew, Mike Breen saying thanks for watching here on ABC, home of the NBA Finals. Now stay tuned. We'll go back to the studio coming up next after the break.